Good evening. Can I ask you all please stand for the pledge? Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Town Board meeting. It is September 9th, 2025. We're going to jump around a little bit because we have the pleasure of installing a new officer tonight. So I would ask Councilwoman Lori Smalley to read that resolution.
It's my honor as liaison to the Police Department. This is from Paul Oliva and Captain Michael Pierce, who is here this evening. In an effort to fill a vacancy created by a recent retirement, the Police Department administrative team conducted interviews of qualified candidates. Mr. Ryan Carter has passed an extensive background investigation and all the necessary screening examinations. Mr. Carter is an experienced police officer and a great addition to our current complement of officers. Chief Oliva and Captain Michael Pierce respectfully request that the Town Board authorize and offer Mr. Ryan Carter a position as a full-time probationary police officer at the rate of salary specified by the collective bargaining agreement, effective September 10th, 2025. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Lori,
I'd like to second that, please.
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Captain?
Mr. Supervisor and ladies and gentlemen of the Town Board, on behalf of Chief Oliva, we appreciate the courtesy extended to us to take our business out of order. To request authorization to hire a police officer to the Mount Pleasant Police Department to replace recent vacancies. An extensive background investigation was conducted on Mr. Ryan Carter, a 9.5-year veteran of New York City Police Department. Ryan grew up in Paterson, New York, and obtained a bachelor's degree in business economics from SUNY Oneonta. During Ryan's tenure at NYPD, he received extensive training, was a field training officer, and became very involved in community-based policing within the 4-9 precinct. Most recently, he oversaw the auxiliary unit throughout the 4-9 precinct. Officer Carter will begin his field training in the next few days, and we look forward to him finishing out his law enforcement career in the town of Mount Pleasant. Mr. Supervisor, ladies and gentlemen of the Town Board, on behalf of Chief Oliva, I respectfully request authorization to hire Mr. Ryan Carter effective 9/10/25.
Thank you, Captain.
If I could ask his wife Jamie to come up real quick.
Right, if you want to move a little closer here. Please raise your right hand, put your left hand on the Bible. I
I,
state your name,
Ryan Carter,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of New York,
Constitution of the State of New York,
and the rules and bylaws of the Mount Pleasant Police Department,
and the rules and bylaws of the Mount Pleasant Police Department,
and I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties incumbent upon me
discharge the duties incumbent upon me
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
His wife Jamie is going to do him the honor of pinning the shield on him.
Thank you. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just welcome and good luck.
Come on up
Come on, come on.
so everyone can shake your hand and wish you good luck. Welcome to Mount Pleasant.
Congratulations, do well.
Thank you.
family want pictures?
Come on up so you can get some pictures. You want us to come up first? Tom? That's your beautiful baby. And what is her name?
Oh,
Congratulations. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good.
Good night. Congrats.
Okay, moving on to our agenda. The first thing is, we have 3 public hearings tonight. First one is the continued public hearing to consider proposed local law prohibiting battery energy storage systems within the town of Mount Pleasant. Darius, was there anything you wanted to comment on that?
Sure, so there were some comments at the last meeting. The proposal was to disallow the battery energy storage systems in the town of Mount Pleasant. And there were some comments made by the public about whether, really in writing, about adding certain things, allowing, for instance, small or tier 1 battery energy storage systems in the town. Those get a little tricky. We discussed it at the work session that not to allow tier 1 for now. If something changes in the future or we get some more information on it, that was something for the board to consider. There was also some discussion in emails and comments about allowing or disallowing making the affirmative comment in the law to say that these are not public utilities. The importance of that may or may not be legal, but it's something that other communities are doing. And what that means is that under the law, public utilities get a lower standard when they're seeking a variance to allow battery energy storage systems at locations. So this will be subject that may be subject to litigation in the future, but we've added that into the code. There were also some comments about allowing the tier ones again. I think we want to look a little closer at that to allow and understand their impact. There are some codes that have them that require them a certain distance away from homes. We may require them in the future to be away from property lines so they're not impacting neighbors. But I think to start now to consider in the next, whether tonight, if we keep it open again for the next 2 weeks, the moratorium is expiring, I think today. However, there's no application. There is an application pending, but by the next meeting, if we keep it open 2 more weeks for comments, we can pass the law before there's any action on this law, on a particular project. So that's the changes we made, really not doing the tier 1. There were some comments too about cars. All cars are permitted, no matter what volt they are. So that was asked by one of the neighbors in Mount Pleasant, one of the residents here. So that's sort of the nutshell. But so we did change the one thing of the not a public utility, but we didn't adopt the tier 1 or any other change or propose.
The battery storage units for solar, is that's still allowed also?
Well, it's up to a certain
It will
voltage.
be allowed.
Yeah, up to a certain voltage.
With respect to the variance, does that still apply? Can someone apply for a variance?
Someone can. Someone could. Yep.
Okay, so anybody who wishes to make a comment, the public hearing is open right now. You're welcome to make any comments. If there's something that was not brought up before, you're welcome to bring up something. We'll make it part of our record.
Hi, Anthony Pesh. Just, is there a location that someone is looking to put some of these battery storages already in place that's in question? No?
There's an application pending. The town, I think it's Wall Street, the town instituted a moratorium a year ago and studied it for the last year and decided to disallow them, or is considering disallowing them in the town. But yeah, it's on Wall Street. I forget the exact address.
115.
But Darius, they didn't go through the process, though.
No, they were, I think they were seeking a variance for some setback
Correct.
issue initially, but they never got approved.
Exactly. They started the process, and then the moratorium was passed.
Got it. Thanks.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is John Ravitz. I'm the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer for the Business Council of Westchester. I know you heard at your last meeting from Ron Kamen, who is the Executive Director of our Clean Energy Action Coalition. People ask, why is the Business Council so involved in the changing energy landscape in this county? And it's really simple. If we're going to continue to recruit and retain businesses here in the county, we're going to need to be able to demonstrate that we have a reliable and an affordable grid. If we're going to recruit employees to come to our businesses in Westchester County, we need to be able to give them that same message as well. So as you heard from Mr. Kamen at your last meeting, we really urge you to really do 2 things, quite frankly. One is to allow your best moratorium to expire and to vote against the proposed ban. I know that Mr. Kamen left with you, and I'll leave with you again, and I appreciate the fact that you're going to spend another 2 weeks continuing to get comments and to continue to do the research and the study, because, as we always know, these technologies continue to change and improve. Our commitment through the Clean Energy Action Coalition is to make sure that we work with all municipalities and their fire officials to make sure that they have the most updated information and training that is being done, not just in New York, but across the country, to prevent any safety issues. And I think that technology is one that we all should continue to study and to feel comfortable that those type of trainings are taking place right now. So I'll leave another copy of our fact sheet that we have put together. The references to all the points that are made are in there for you to study as well. And again, I'll close with just one final comment. You know, we have always supported the changing energy landscape that the CLCPA put forth. We all want a carbon-free emission. Our concern was that the implementation dates just were not realistic. We're not going to get to 70% carbon-free by 2030, and we're not going to be carbon-free by 2040. But we need to work to get to those goals. And we need to be able to build a new, reliable, renewable energy infrastructure. And that means everything has to be on the table. Battery storage, solar. We got to continue to look at pipelines that make sense. And if communities don't want to do that, then again, my simple question is, then what's your plan B? Because we were very lucky this summer that we didn't have a reliability issue on the grid. And let's hope we don't have a bad winter. But we can't wait for a disaster to happen before businesses and residents don't have the power that they need. So we need to work together to build this renewable energy infrastructure. And we need to have open minds to make sure that we're doing all we can to give our businesses and our residents that comfort level. Moratoriums have their place, but we're too far along now in this process to continue to build on those moratoriums. Again, I'll end with the same question. What's our plan B? What's our plan B to make sure that we have a reliable grid? Thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate the information. The town board has taken this very serious. We've studied this for over a year, and we continue to listen. We take public comments. We make adjustments. We've made alterations to this law, and the town board will eventually make a decision on whether to ban it or not. But it is based on receiving knowledge from the public, and safety is a #1 concern that we're dealing with. Thank you.
Good evening, Dominic Vita, Hawthorne. It's a brilliant segue, Mr. Supervisor, to what I'm going to be talking about this evening. I'm definitely in favor of the ban, not waiting an additional 2 weeks, and then making a further amendment as changes are needed as this is looked into further. While this proposed law is a step in the right direction, more must be done. Unlike other towns that simply, unlike other towns that simply ban BESS, ours is unique. We aim not only to ban new systems, but also to strengthen oversight of existing ones to better protect residents. On the ban, I urge you in any future amendments to target only large-scale standalone BESS, especially lithium-ion, which even the new technology is prone to thermal runaway. Smaller behind-the-meter systems help residents and businesses manage electricity costs and should remain allowed. A tiered approach makes sense. Ban only utility-scale front-of-the-meter lithium-ion BESS, because when it comes to safety, scale matters. The bigger the system, the greater the risk. On existing large lithium-ion BESS systems in the town of Mount Pleasant, the economic and environmental risks from lithium-ion BESS fires are too serious to leave unaddressed. This law doesn't yet go far enough. Beyond fire safety and emergency operations plans, BESS owners, should be made to also provide an annual independent risk and safety analysis, including thermal runaway prevention audits at their own cost. Cover the town's costs, past and future, for equipment, including PPE for fire and training and risk mitigation, through increased taxes on these owners or direct obligations. carry insurance or bonds sufficient to cover any damages, and maintain an on-call subject matter expert who can respond immediately to emergencies. Just having a number available, which our code proposed law provides, is not enough. We should not look back and ask, what more could we have done? We already know the risks. Let's apply that knowledge now and ensure future amendments to this law that put responsibility where it belongs, squarely on large-scale BES owners. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Joanne Scatero, and I too am opposed to, I would like to keep I would like a ban on BES. This whole plan depends on volunteer firefighters, most of whom have not signed up for fighting these types of emergencies. I mean, this is not what they signed up for, and they don't have to work. I mean, they can easily just vote with their feet, and, you know, and then the thing is that each town is rated for its ability to respond to fires. And if our ISO rating goes down from the Insurance Services Office, which gives that information to the insurance companies, then that's 50%. The ISO rating is like 50%. The adequacy of the fire department is 50% of that ISO rating. And if that goes down, our fire insurance rates go up. So I think that needs to be taken into account, unless you're planning on giving us all a discount on our fire insurance costs, because without adequate staffing at the firehouses, it's really not a plus for the individuals and businesses in this town. We already have enough BESs. My other concern is the 130 megawatt BES that they want to put on Sawmill River Road is in a floodplain, or it's very close to being in a floodplain. I've looked at the FEMA flood maps, and rainfall is only increasing year upon year, and it seems like a god-awful place to put a large-scale facility, especially when water and lithium-ion batteries do not mix well at all. Plus, you've got the facility connecting to high-tension wires. I mean, our firefighters didn't sign up for this. So anyway, that's all I want to say.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Hi, guys. Kim Luciano. I'm opposed. We have enough in the backyard, they call. We have the Amazon. We have the buildup at the medical center. We're working on trying to accomplish something with the cut-through traffic. Now in the backyard, across the street on 9A, I'm going to have this. There is no plan B. There shouldn't be a plan B. It doesn't belong there. It's a hazard. And again, everybody's going to wait for something to happen, okay? We don't need it. Firefighters, yes, they're against it. It's something, it just doesn't need to be. We have a small town, and there's a reason for it. This is why people live here. It's quiet. You've got the country portion. You have the little villages. Let's leave it alone. The amount we're paying in taxes, this is why we moved here. Let's leave it the way it is. We don't need the toxicity. You don't need anything going into the ground where it's going to affect the water. It's too much. It's really too much. We're being handed a lot. And I know recently we've become a dumping ground in the back by Pythian in the woods. Somebody's dumping furniture. So I just feel like this end of town, we're just getting hit. And there's no need for it. I like the woods behind me. There's enough. You have the Amazon. We still have the vans they're trying to make their little way through. It's just not fair at this point. And is it really needed? Or is it just another moneymaker? And that's how I see it. They're going to put anything wherever they can. It's just not needed where we are. There really isn't. There's no need for it. All right? Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Just so you understand, they cannot put anything anywhere they want. The town board controls, and the town people, population will control where things will go.
Good evening, Rebecca Bello, Hawthorne. I've been here before. I appreciate you spending your time in writing this law and working on it. I support the ban. I really hope that you will vote positive on it. And I feel like we already have 2 units, so we don't need any more. And I really feel strongly that we're doing our part. There's other places that it can go, and not in Mount Pleasant. So I appreciate your working on this. Thank you so much, and I really hope you will be positive and support this ban. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I wasn't planning on getting up again because I did this last month, but, and I know that, I think the gentleman from the county already left. So I'll just say what I said last time. Oh, you are there, great. Which is, it's not an opposition to the concept of green energy and these facilities. It's where they belong, and they don't belong in Mount Pleasant. And I know I had sent a follow-up email you guys got. If you look at population densities, go to Newcastle. They got 18,000 people, and their population density is 780. We got 45,000 people, and our density is 1625. There are places these can go in less dense populations, not near medical centers and children's hospitals and children's facilities, okay? Not in a town that has, I'm part of Hawthorne Fire Department. I work for the district. I'm an honorary member. That is a small fire department. And both the 115 Wall Street is their district, not Valhalla, it's Hawthorne's district, as well as, although there's no formal application for Rosedale, that possibility. The only thing I'll say, you know I support this. I'm very disappointed. I thought it was going to get a vote tonight, okay? I don't know why it needs 2 more weeks. I thought this would be done and dusted and over. I'm really upset it's not, and whatever reason legally you have to keep it open for 2 more weeks. I want this done. Everyone wants this done. So again, you know I support it, you know I appreciate it, and everyone will have the town's backs when people start coming at you, because we know they will. Thank you.
Well, there was a potential notice issue, that's why I'm being conservative on that change. You do have the possibility to vote on the law as it is, the first notice, which didn't include that public utility, that we can renotice that public utility point for the next meeting, if you want to. That's also something you can do.
I'd rather the language be right, makes it lesser of a challenge in the future.
Okay.
But what about the moratorium
Well,
expiring?
let's get through this first.
Okay.
On Resolution 31925, it is the board's idea to continue this for another 2 weeks.
I'm against that, by the way. I was pretty sure we spoke about this at our work session last week, that we knew the moratorium ended on a certain date, and we tried really hard all summer to make sure we hit the date with the vote. So my opinion is if we could vote on something, because the minute it runs out and we give weeks, and someone puts an application, and I understand there's no application in now, Darius, but if somebody puts an application in, I'm uncomfortable knowing that the moratorium expired and we didn't adopt this as we had planned for almost a year now.
So Darius, just so I understand, we could approve the first resolution, and then we would have to go back and amend it to include this utility language?
Correct.
Okay, that's.
What if we keep this open and we jump down to the authorization on number 1 to extend the moratorium?
That's also a possibility.
Quite honestly, I have to agree with Mark. I really feel that at this time, I am prepared, I'm educated enough to say that I am in favor of a ban. Mark is correct. The moratorium expires on September 11th, and I don't want to see any, quote, wiggle room for anything else to happen. So I would like to take that vote.
So my feeling is I'll be voting for the ban tonight with the amendment. There's absolutely nothing wrong, per the attorney, to vote the way the language is in the legislation, and then strictly to do amendment. If we wait when the moratorium is over, it's not a good strategy. We have to do it before the moratorium is still in existence. An applicant can just come in right away and say, hey, it was over, you have to entertain my application. This has been researched, well thought out. We had tremendous amount of discussions on this, tremendous amount of research. There's nothing wrong with doing an amendment and voting this evening, so that's how I feel.
We can do that. We can do that.
All right, we close this then we'll move on to the resolution about
Adopting the
approving it,
local law.
adopting it.
As written and noticed in, I believe it was, early July?
Is that resolution 349-25?
Yeah, let me just check the number. Yeah, it's the same resolution number, just not with the amendment. It is number,
Number 11.
sorry. No, number,
Oh, that is, I'm sorry, I'm incorrect
that's
on that.
okay, I'm looking at it too. It's number, 3? No. Number 1 in the supervisor's report?
Yeah, exactly.
Number 1, yeah.
Resolution 322-25, is that correct?
You got it.
That's it.
Thank you.
Yep.
I don't think anyone on the board is not in favor of the ban. There's language we were concerned about, that's all.
Yeah, we added some language about the public utility, which we've added, we just have to notice it. I don't want anyone challenging it, so. There was an issue with the paper on the noticing, so we'll have to just renotice that. But if you want to adopt the local law that was noticed already, you could close the public hearing and I could propose some language for you to consider.
I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Do we have to call for another hearing?
We will.
So we would go ahead and close the public hearing, and I would ask the supervisor to go out of order on the agenda so we can put this to bed, if he would so agree, that we skip down to supervisor's report, authorization to adopt local law prohibiting battery energy storage systems within the town of Mount Pleasant, resolution 322-25, please, if Mr. Supervisor would agree.
Yeah, let's first close this public hearing. Resolution 319-25 will close.
So moved.
Second, please.
Motion by Lori, second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. If you like, we'll jump down to number 1 on the supervisor's report. Authorization to adopt local law prohibiting battery energy storage systems within the town of Mount Pleasant. Do we have to add any language to that?
Yep, let me propose some language for you. There's a proposed resolution that would be the law as proposed, I believe it was in either late June or early July, without the amendments that were subsequently proposed, because that one was properly noticed. So if the board would consider a motion to adopt a local law to ban battery energy storage systems in the town, including the following. Number 1, we would override the County of Westchester planning comments in a letter dated July 21st, 2025. The comments from the county are as follows. The county recommends disapproval of the local law because according to it, the battery energy storage system technologies are important to the state and county's efforts to reduce carbon emissions and the use of fossil fuels for energy creation. The motion would include a comment that while the town is aware of potential benefits of battery energy storage system facilities, at this time, the health and safety risks, which can include thermal runaway, the emission of toxic gas, and fires, which cannot be actively fought, greatly outweighs those benefits. The county also said that the local law does not allow for small-scale battery energy storage systems suitable for individual households or commercial buildings, so private residents and businesses will be prohibited from utilizing the full advantage of any sustainable energy infrastructure they have installed on their property. The county noted that the town's prohibition establishes a stigma to battery energy storage systems that is not imposed upon established hazardous energy conveyances such as automobile gas stations and natural gas. Proposed response would be that small-scale battery energy storage systems were deemed not to be appropriate at this time, pending further review. After confirming with the building department also that they are unaware of any specific application for any small-scale battery energy storage system in the town. The board also determines that the health and safety benefits are outweighed to disallow those at this time, pending further review. While the town does not prohibit other energy systems such as gas stations and natural gas systems, the ability of fire departments to fight such fires is well established. The method of fighting fires at BES facilities is to simply let them burn out. Furthermore, the town's interest in the general safety and welfare of its citizens is much more important than any potential stigma caused by the ban. The EPA indicates a decrease in BESS failures. However, the establishment of the State Fire Code and Westchester County recently adopted a BESS notification legislation. That's another issue that the county has brought up. They point out that the EPA data provides a decrease in failure incidents at BES facilities as more systems are constructed. The county further points out that the state has recently approved and updated its fire code, which provides for enhanced safety standards. The county cites the County Board of Legislature's recent adoption of BESS notification legislation, which was established to coordinate emergency services. The town is aware that the state has approved the new fire code, but it has yet to be published for complete review by the town. Further, while the county has adopted its BESS notification legislation, the county's website acknowledges the BES facilities can present serious hazards like thermal runaway, toxic gas emissions, and fires. See emergencyservices.westchester.gov.com, BESS safety. While the county points to data provided by EPA as to the frequency of fires at BESS facilities, such comments ignores the serious effects of a failure. The serious effects were recently cited by EPA Administrator Zeldin in July of 2025, which provides that local authorities have raised serious concerns about the potential for toxic emissions caused by lithium battery fires, which can burn for weeks and release hydrogen fluoride and other dangerous chemicals. These health and safety issues are too great for the town board to ignore. The town board is not foreclosed from considering any potential more reliable energy source in the future. Secondly, the town would declare that the local law proposes a type 1 action under SECRA as it affects the entire town. And as a result, the town has carefully reviewed the full environmental assessment form prepared prior to the adoption of this law for potential environmental impacts. The town prepared a Part 2 of the environmental assessment form also and compared the banning of the BESS in the town to the criteria in SECRA, specifically 6 NYCRR Part 617-7, CI through XII, for potential adverse impacts, and has also assessed the likely consequences of actions in connection under SECRA, specifically Section 617.73. The town board finds that the local law will not have any significant adverse environmental impacts. The town board notes that these facilities can be built in neighboring communities that do not include the Westchester County Medical Center, which would need to potentially need to evacuate should any of these BSSs catch fire in the town. We also note that we did receive comments from the planning board that had a no recommendation one way or the other. So the motion would be to adopt the local law with those secret determination, with those overrides of the county planning comments, and to authorize the supervisor to sign the negative declaration under Part 3 of the EAF.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Resolution 32225 with the comments from our town attorney, I'm not going to repeat them. will be part of that resolution. You'll include all those with that.
Yes, that'll be part of the resolution. Yep.
So 32225 is banning the battery energy storage units, as we discussed, with the amendments as discussed from the town attorney.
I'll make a motion for approval, please.
Motion by Danielle.
Second.
Motion by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Darius. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to take a motion to notice an amendment to include the comment about not a public utility? We can set that hearing for the next meeting. We'll make sure that it gets noticed, and then we can add that to the language.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there's an open resolution number, Mr. Supervisor, that we can add on. I have it here. If you give me one moment. It is resolution number 349-25, which be to call for a public hearing to amend the ban on the battery energy storage system to the September 23rd meeting?
For the amendment,
Yeah.
I move to,
What resolution is
Hold
that?
on.
It is number, I talked to Amanda. We got the resolution number.
349?
349-25. No?
No.
Oh, we're not doing that. No. Is that an open number? Yeah, it's an open number.
349.
-25 would be to call for the public hearing to amend this law again to add in the section that would say that the BSSs are not public utilities. Then we'll properly notice it, and you can adopt the law at the 23rd.
I don't have that as open.
Okay.
Okay. We're just changing the
What's the date?
September 23rd.
23rd?
Yep.
No, you have to look here.
Okay, resolution 34925. We'll schedule a public hearing to include the amendments as discussed.
so moved.
No.
Motion by Tom,
Second.
second by Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
Let's just add it on at the end.
Yeah, that's fine.
That number's already been used
It's not- it's just
on number 11
for number
on the
11.
agenda.
349-25?
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Could
the,
could you do 349-25A? Or just add?
That's
the
not,
license agreement with DOT.
yeah, I think that's a, how can that be 349?
It's probably added later.
Should be 331. I think that's a mistake. The resolution numbers, I think we can work out later. The question is the substance
Correct.
is right. Because on the agenda, it goes from 331 to 332, and there's 349 in the middle.
Yeah.
That should
was
probably be
added later.
331. Sounds like it's a typo.
Yeah, that had to be added in afterwards. yeah.
So the resolution number will be amended.
31 is something else.
We have to
Yeah,
use
sure.
a different number?
What's the right number? Do you want mine?
I'm looking at it on my phone.
This is, that
So,
one.
yeah, so if you guys,
We're keeping that one, though.
no, that's not the one,
Oh, there's,
No, we'd have to schedule a public hearing.
it's this one.
so make it 350.
Yeah.
Can we just do that?
350?
350?
Okay.
Sorry, I had the wrong
So
number.
This will be
Apologize.
350, schedule a public hearing.
You-
Three
you-
fifty.
Thank you,
Do you need a
Amanda.
motion to amend that?
No, that's fine. It's 350. It's more on our end.
Okay, it's a clerical thing.
No, it's the administrative end. It's fine.
So,
Right, we added the 349.
so we're fine.
We're fine.
Okay.
Okay, so we added 350-25, and we just voted on it.
Yep.
Okay,
Sorry for the confusion.
should have done this in pencil.
Yeah. A lot of problems.
Moving on, we have, moving on, we have continued public hearing to increase 25-26 water rates for the town water districts.
Yeah, so this was noticed at the last meeting. There were no changes, but there were some comments here from people at the last meeting about the changes. David Smith, I believe, is here, our town engineer and the head of our water department. If he has any questions, he can answer those tonight.
Is there anything you want to offer is over and above what we've already advertised? No? Okay. Anybody in the public have any comments regarding the water district rates for 25, 26? You probably all understand that the rates have not been increased in, I think, 6 years, at least 6 years. Unfortunately, suppliers of water to the town of Mount Pleasant, New York City, Pleasantville, North Newcastle, have all raised their rates to the town, and we've held those numbers for 6 years. Unfortunately, now it's time we have to catch up, so that's why the rates have to change.
The details of how much, I think they were noticed. I don't know, well,
It's-
Dave may know them off the top of his head, but there's a little complicated, right?
Yeah.
10 different districts that are being affected, that are raising rates, but it's not, it's a percentage,
Look at tiers, different tiers.
depending on water usage.
Yeah.
It's not significant, it's fractional in nature. It's just,
I'll give you an example. Apple Hill Farm District Tier 1 was $6.26. For the past 6 years, it's going from $6.26 to $6.45. So it's a 19-cent
so,
increase.
yeah.
It's minimal, but I know it's uncomfortable nonetheless. But necessary. Sure.
Patricia Halpin Hawthorne. In terms of those tiers, since we have some data centers that are here, are they in the highest tier since they have the biggest draw on water?
The tier is determined by the volume of water you use. The
So-
less you use, the lower your tier.
Yeah.
The more you use, the higher the tier.
So data centers would be at the top?
Would be at the top, yeah.
And most of your commercials would be the higher tier.
Great, thank you.
I say that right, David?
that's correct, yeah.
Make a motion to close? And you
Yes.
Stop if you feel like it tonight?
Yeah. So Resolution 3/2025 will adopt, we'll close the public hearing.
I'd like to take a motion to close the public hearing, Mr. Supervisor. for
Motion by
water
Tom,
rates.
Second?
second by Danielle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We can jump down to the authorization to increase the water rates, Resolution 3/2325. If the board sees fit to approve that, we can do that.
I'll make a motion for approval.
Motion by Mark,
I'll second.
second by Lori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is continued public hearing for proposed local law amending building lot coverage within the Valhalla Hamlet zoning district. Has anything changed on that notice?
Yeah, I'll give a brief explanation. So there were some comments here at the last meeting concerning coverage issues and comments about the other potential uses in the Hamlet zone on the areas that are bordering residential areas. So we have clarified the language on the coverage. I believe Mr. I forget who it was. Russell, thank you. Sorry, it's one of those nights. Asked about, so we clarified that language. We also added in limiting coverage, impervious surface, and floor area ratio for the general commercial buildings, the mixed-use buildings, the one-story commercial buildings, and the multifamily buildings, which we originally had in the Hamlet zoning for those properties that are in the transition area. So what that essentially has the effect of is making those potential buildings in that transition area by the residential zones smaller, less impervious surface, less coverage, and smaller building, or buildings, depending on what they're proposing. There is no application for 75 North Kensico or any other building in this area, but the thought process was, the board was that, there should be a transition area in the Hamlet zoning in Valhalla. This was discussed with the planner, Pat Cleary. It was discussed with the planning board at last meeting on the Thursday night, and they recommended a setback for these buildings too, similar to the townhouses up the street. However, the townhouse language already has the setback. These don't, and the concept was that these type of buildings would front on the main streets. So, Pat didn't
Would you like
have,
to speak?
Pat,
Townhouses, they're single-family houses. Lakeside Drive is single-family house.
I'm telling you what the planning board said, whether they're single family or not, that's what they've said. Okay, I watched the tape today, that's what
Are
they
they
said.
attached?
Whether they're attached or
No,
the
they're not
houses
attached.
there.
They're not attached.
But
They
he
do
wa-
not share walls.
But Pat Clary did not recommend those changes.
So I had a question.
And again, the town board has not approved any building on this property.
And neither has the planning board.
Right.
On, this isn't about this property, because there's, I forget how many properties it impacts, 20 or so, 18 or so, I forget the number off the top of my head, but this would limit the amount of building that could happen on 75 North Kensico, which people may be familiar with, or other properties that border the residential areas.
And there's no current applicant for that property? Before the town board, before the planning board, for the ZBA, there's no applicant. And the FAA being reduced shrinks the amount of percentage that could be built on it. It's anyone that, it could be an entrepreneur, developer that comes to either the town board or the planning board and fills out an application for development.
If you like to make a comment, you're welcome to come up here so that everybody in town can know what you're talking about.
Alexandra Glickman, 38 Cleveland Street. My house, my property directly abuts the 75 North Kensico. So I am directly affected with this proposed construction. So, excuse me, so you said that applicants, define applicants? You mean, meaning that the people who owns that property, who bought that property from the previous owner, they're not applicants, they're just owners of the property?
You mentioned the word proposed construction. There's no proposed construction. No one filed an application to build anything at this point in time.
So this property just sitting, waiting for further development, or?
It's private property. The owner has the right to build, and we made an adjustment so if there is building that it's
So
limited in nature.
So the current owner is the applicant, so he has the
There's
choice.
no
He has the
applicant.
choice to build something on
He's-
his property,
He's the
correct?
owner of the property.
He has
There's
to
no,
apply to the planning board to move forward.
Let me try to explain. So you were here at the last couple months ago, I think,
Yeah.
had a comment. So there was a plan, but that wasn't what the town board did. The town board passed and it added that area to the Hamlet zoning, right? People didn't like that. The town board looked at it, spoke to the planner, and said, well, the law now allows a building this big, I'm making up a size. So they looked at it and said, instead of a building this big there, they made it a lot smaller, impacting less coverage. So you, as a neighbor of a residential house that was near this or adjacent to it, would not be impacted as much. So they don't have to pass the law. They can leave the law as it is, but they proposed the law to decrease building sizes in the transitional areas, which was on the map that was noticed.
You mean the zoning law?
The zoning law, right.
Okay.
So what happens is now if an applicant, whether it's 75 North Kensico, we don't know if they're coming back or not, it could be some other address that's in that area, would be required to propose a smaller project.
Okay.
That's what happens.
How smaller?
It depends, there's a lot of calculations depending on how
Because the
size.
rumor is that, because, the original proposition was 47 units, no, I'm sorry, 34 units. Then it was reduced to 50%. So it's
Only conceptual. There's no application.
okay, so it's just all like,
There was a conceptual thought process by the applicant of 75 North Kensico,
Okay.
which this affects, of, I think it was 34, 36 units, whatever it
Yeah.
was.
34 units for the
Now, we
7-car
don't know what
garage.
they're proposing, but what this does is the FAR is decreased significantly. So you have, FAR is the size of a building. Also, the coverage is decreased. So
Correct.
it used to be X percent, now it's this percent. And also the impervious surface, meaning parking lots and walkways, is decreased. So these are tools in the planning world to decrease building sizes and impact on land
Okay,
and impact on neighbors.
okay. So can I ask you something? So at this point, does it make sense to discuss how this, again, if the applicant comes forward, you know, with some kind of plans or something, does it make sense to waste our time and your time to discuss how it will impact the construction of the building, impact the Valhalla Village in terms of the taxes? Are we going to be affected? The taxes are going to increase. What about our values, the house values, you know, of the neighbors, adjacent properties? What about any infrastructure, other infrastructure? For example, Valhalla Village now struggling with garbage and recycling issues and the rotten, and like rats are literally like running the streets of Valhalla Village right now.
That has been addressed with all the business owners.
It's been addressed. I mean, the garbage cans were removed from the streets now, because I know that because I walk my dog like 3 times a day. I see how the streets are filthy because, you know, people have to, they have to put their garbage somewhere.
Well,
And especially when we have events in the Kensico
The
Dam.
business owners are responsible for their garbage.
Okay,
The taxpayers in Mount Pleasant are not responsible for cleaning the garbage in the business district. It's up to those business owners to handle their garbage. They
okay,
have to pay a garbage collection company to handle that.
okay. All right, so in other words, so that at this point, it doesn't make sense to discuss all this right now.
There's no way of knowing an impact on how it'll affect a neighboring property value rate. There's no way of knowing that.
Okay,
This could be some beautiful thing that could enhance the neighborhood. That's our only hope.
okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Russell Jonas, Valhalla, how are you? Last time we were here, we learned that the 75 North Kensico property height was a maximum of 40 feet. And also, so that kind of clarified the concept that would be allowable there. I understand there's actually nothing happening with that right now. So that's been withdrawn, or the efforts here have somehow changed that. But the question remains with respect to the zoning. There was a 55% floor area ratio, and then there was an allowable building area of 70%, which seems like those are in conflict. So at some point, I'm not sure if I missed it in all the attachments that were sent, because there was a lot that was related to this in terms of paperwork.
There was no
But-
conflict, but Mr. Russell made a comment, not about FAR and coverage. It was about impervious surface coverage and coverage.
Which
And that
was,
has been amended.
which was up to 7, so that's resolved then. It's now 55 is the hard
For-
stop.
For the,
It seemed like there was ambiguity between
for
the
the
two.
multifamily building, the building max for certain properties in the Valhalla district, is 50%, and the impervious surface is 55.
50 and 55. Okay, all right. I thought there was a .7
That's something
allowable
there's a-
building.
There's an FAR of 50%.
FAR of 50,
That's a different concept.
and okay, so there was an FAR of .55 as of last time, and that's down to 50 now. And then there was a,
For that use, multifamily.
for multifamily. and then there was a allowable building area of 0.7. So I was just thinking that if I were,
No,
depending on my
the
perspective.
0.7, the way it's written is the coverage is for these areas in the Valhalla Hamlet. Then the transition zone has different requirements.
Okay.
So that 70% is still there for the more central area that's not immediately adjacent or across the street from residential
Oh,
zones.
okay, I see.
Then the code is proposed to be amended for those properties to have lesser coverage and FAR. and
Okay, got it.
impervious surface.
So the central area, I saw notices, those white and red signs, in addition
A
to
lot of them were
75
taken down.
years ago. There were several at the bottom of Cleveland Street. So the blocks where the local businesses are, on the Columbus Avenue side of the street, there are businesses, the ice cream shop and everything else. And then behind that, there are several houses. And some of it's mixed use. So some of the signage was out there, and I assume that those residential places were included in the rezoning. It seems like, I just want to clarify, is the standard is the same floor area ratio standard applicable there? Do they have to have a larger green space, if you will?
There's a map that that has the transition zones. Here it is, those.
Okay.
So in the light green are the transition zones. So the number of properties, but the downtown area was not changed. We're not proposed to be changed.
Okay, I'll have to take a look at that. It makes sense to me to have, at least my opinion, it makes sense to me to have that area be more maximalist in terms of the use of the space than it does on that Kensico Avenue.
Yeah, that's the law.
Okay.
That's the proposal.
Okay, so
Now,
that's
if you come look
0.7.
here, these areas are going to be the we're calling those the transition zone. It's in the town clerk's office, and it was noticed in the newspaper. That's the transition zone that has the lesser development potential. And this stays the same as it was. That was done 2 years ago.
Thank you. I'll take a closer look at that. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's in the town clerk's office, but we can get it for you.
It's also
It's on the website.
Website too?
On the master plan, it's there.
Yeah, but this transition, I think, is on the website too? Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
Jim Russell from Hawthorne. I would ask that this hearing be extended also, like the Best Battery meeting. I think the same issues pertain to it as far as notices for the amended aspects of it. And we also need to review a lot of the changes. A lot has come out, I guess, changes to the commercial properties in the past week. And also the planning board meeting with the suggestion of the setback. I think that was very important. My listening to the meeting seemed that Mr. Cleary was in favor of that. He actually urged that the motion be made, so I'd like this board to review that. And he said that he and the board thought that the same setback for townhouses, which is 30 feet, would be an appropriate setback for the transition area multifamily homes. So I'd appreciate the extension, to continue this on for the procedural aspects of notice in the newspaper, and to allow people to discuss it more, to understand these issues like the floor area ratio. It's a little complicated to understand all this. And I think that the setback would be good. But the main thing here is what Mr. Amakuchi estimated to be the maximum building coverage himself, because there are inferences here, of course, that that property and his design is what people would like to have diminished, and some people have speculated, well, it might go to 50%. If we're going from 70% to 50% of coverage, but on page 7 of his application that he put in last March for the rezoning, his estimate was 40.7%. I'll give a copy to the board.
Thank you.
So a reduction from 70% to 50% doesn't really have much of a benefit if you're at 40%. Therefore, if we're looking at really having an impact, we should be looking at numbers like 30 or 20%. I think the average home usually has maybe about 35% coverage. I'm not sure of the estimates of multifamily properties, what they average at, but I think maybe there should be a little more research to see what type of numbers come up, because, you know, this would really be ineffectual. So therefore, I would ask you seriously consider continuing this over, maybe having a public information session in between, so that these complicated issues can be better understood and more informed comments could be made.
Just one question for you. Wasn't the impervious surface of the application that was a concept 65% for Mr. Anacucci?
Yes.
Because you got three different
It's on that
concepts.
form. The impervious one, he was
So
just a little bit over,
decreased too.
but if he used permeable surfaces as the county
But you gotta,
suggested.
there's three concepts, public. There's
Right.
impervious surface, which would be a building, and it would be sidewalks, it'd be parking lot, anything that's not permeable. Sure, someone can make permeable areas, but they don't really do that. So what the application, what this does is it says, okay, you can only have 55% impervious and 50% max coverage for coverage. That's on the ground. What that automatically would mean, you get a smaller building. It's not going to impact as much coverage, whether it's 40%, 30%. You don't know, whatever the development is. The second tool that was used is the FAR issue, which automatically makes it smaller than it was. It's mass, it's bulk. Floor area ratio is the concept. So if you have a, for example, let's say you have a 40,000 square foot property, about an acre. It's a little bigger an acre, but they can, with a 50% FAR, the max they can do is a 20,000 square foot building. So that's if there's no FAR max, then they can make this big bulky building. So this planning tool makes it smaller and on less of the ground. So it automatically would make a building smaller. So that's the proposal. You know, that's still, I think it's still being batted around by the board a little bit. And there's good concepts. You know, if people want this map, it's available. The clerk's office, it's on the website, so you can get it. And if anyone has any questions, they can email town.
The whole idea is lessening the impact on neighboring residential properties. That's the whole basis of it.
Correct.
Which is what everyone's been talking about.
Right, and that's exactly what we did. We listened to you very carefully, and you made very good points, so we're making adjustments. So it's, the scope of any project there is lessened substantially.
So I would hope for the good of the residents to have a better understanding, and also from the procedural aspects, that the notice for the amended version of this proposed law might need to be remedied, just as the BESS documents might benefit from a new motion to have a public hearing. For those two reasons, I would ask that no vote be taken on this evening.
Just with respect to your 40%, it's kind of, I don't understand it.
It's from the application that in March, Mr. Anacucci submitted.
Well, it's a moot point now because there's no application.
Well, that was the application for rezoning.
Lori, can I have that back when you're done?
Yes.
please? Thank you.
Yes, please put it in the record, please. Thank you, Danielle.
Not speaking for the town board, but I don't think the town board is ready to approve this at this point anyway. There's more discussion we would like to have amongst ourselves. And I think the more details of these changes should be out there in the public.
We can do that.
Okay.
I think it's important to hear from the people more and to keep the public hearing open and to certainly listen to your comments more and have the attorney and, you know, draft the amendments and make sure everything is clear and make sure everyone's comfortable.
Hi, Donna Babbitt, Valhalla. First of all, I'd like to thank you for the band on the renewable energy. That was a great thing that was done tonight, and I appreciate it. I have a question. 75 Kensico, is that a transitional property? It is a transitional property. All right. So could we have some kind of language maybe that might say that no commercial buildings could be built on transitional properties and just residential? This way, that would really limit the amount of apartments or houses that are built on that site.
Are you talking commercial as far as like retail
Well,
or
like-
residential?
Well, I'm just thinking, like a commercial building, residential building would be something that would be more than 5 apartment buildings. So if we made that a residential, then we could say that maybe 4 family houses would be the limit on that property. So I'm thinking that would be a great way to really reduce the amount of people living in that area, which will address a lot of the concerns we have about parking and just the hill itself and how it's going to impact all the other neighbors, you know. The other thing I want to just say is I did look at the video of the planning board meeting on the 4th, September 4th, and I wrote some quotes down that they said, these are their words, okay, which made me very concerned, okay. They said, the town board is going to do what the town board is going to do with or without our input. They don't want to sway the town board one way or the other. It is their decision. So a lot of times when we're here and we talk about our concerns, we keep saying, well, it's going to go to the planning board. And the planning board on September 4th said, town's going to do what the town's going to do. And they don't want to step on any toes. It's basically what they were saying. So, and my take on that is, you people right here, you're the ones who have the power. You're the ones who are going to make the decision that's going to impact us. It's not really the planning board.
Just to clarify, we have 2 independent boards. The town board basically deals with the zoning aspect. The planning board is going to look at site plan. What's going to look like? How much coverage? The coverage we control by zoning. The aesthetics of the building, traffic, drainage. Those are all things that planning board, we don't deal with that here.
But
we don't tell the planning board, you have to do this or that. We don't do that.
Their comment is about the law. All right, under the law, we asked for a recommendation from them. What do you think of this law? You're planners, how do you see this?
Right.
The planner worked with you to do this. I'm not sure why they say they're gonna do what they wanna do, and it's their decision. It's true it is your decision, but you're generally wanting their input.
But
They don't wanna give it, they don't have to give it, but
They made a suggestion on the setback.
they did.
That was the only suggestion that
So they did
that I
make-
saw made. And then they also said that the planning board referral will not bind you in any way. So again, the ultimate decision lies in the hand of the board.
For the law, not if that builder submits an application to the the planning department to proceed with construction, then our board is out of it at that point. But in terms of this law, I think what you're confusing is that they're referring to that we'll do what we want to do with this law, and we could take their advice, or we don't have to take their advice. But it's different than if they say, okay, we're ready to build, we're going to go to the planning board. Then that's where we're, like Mr. Supervisor said, we're 2 separate entities, and we don't sway one another.
Just another point. I was on the planning board for 10.5 years. We took all our recommendations to the town board very seriously. They were drafted in written form by our planner. There's a significant suggestion of setbacks, and it's a significant suggestion, and we're going to take that in consideration. So we listen, we make sure we take their recommendations very seriously and into consideration. So it's not like the town board's going to do whatever they want to do. That's not true.
Okay. I hope, I'm glad that we're having these conversations, and I think we are making some progress, and I feel good about that. But I think that maybe, like I said, if we can make the transitional zone residential only building on that transitional zone, no commercial building on that zone, I think that would satisfy a lot of people. It would satisfy me. I would love to see, like I said from the first time, we need some more houses for people to buy. We don't need rentals. My kids are looking for places to buy. There are none. I think it would be a great selling point, and I think it would be nice for the neighbors to have people who own with them, who have a stake, not somebody who's gonna be transient in and out, this apartment, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and someone new. Thank you.
Personally, I would not like to see retail use on property when you're in between residential uses. But I do believe we have a desperate need for residential rentals. To what size, that'll be determined down the road. But I would not like to see like a store down below and then residential above in that particular area. I don't think it would fit there. That's my personal opinion.
Nobody would be able to find it. It's in, you gotta look for the church, you can't find it just driving down the street. But I just hope, I'm glad that you're taking some of our concerns to heart and thinking about it and trying to, work with us. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate your dedication too.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's helpful.
Just on that last comment, Carl, if you need residential apartments, then why not have more two-family houses allowed? Which would give you the ability for builders now to have someone own it and maybe have a tenant.
Are you talking about multifamily in a residential district?
Yeah, it still looks like a house and you have another tenant in there. That solves the need of having more.
Well, that's something that the governor was trying to push a couple of years ago. We denied that because you're changing the character.
But the governor's pushing this too, which we're allowing.
What?
The whole commercial zoning. No, the commercial zone near trains and everything, which
Yeah,
is,
we created that through the master plan. The governor didn't. That whole master plan was created by residents in the town of Mount Pleasant, not the town board or the governor. That was our own plan.
but if we need more housing, two-family houses would also solve some of that need, which is more aesthetic okay for a neighborhood versus a 17 apartment building in a residential area. And the poster boards that were put out all in that little section closer to the town, I mean, what's to say once this all really does get solved and passed and finalized and some crazy monstrosity gets built over there, you're not going to see those things get knocked down because the value of that would automatically jump up and they can put up another 10-unit building. I mean, it's only an acre, it's less than an acre of land that we're talking about.
If it's within the zoning,
Well, it is,
To be
because where all those posters were put were even closer to the train station and not even condensed next to all these other houses. So it easily would be able to pass and have a lot more big commercial buildings.
well, again, that was all designed and passed during the master plan creation 3 years ago.
I think it's confusing two different things. The posters are for the transitional area. We put them out there, people may have moved them, I don't know, but they're for the transitional area on the map, to make those smaller. The downtown areas are for they stay the same, as done 2 years ago.
The downtown areas being,
Like along Columbus Avenue there and just up
The
the hill.
business area.
Business area.
On Broadway.
On Broadway.
Broadway.
That was passed 2 years ago. And these properties were included there, 75 North Kensico was added. Then we said, oh, wait a minute, the transitional properties that are closer to residential, we don't want, or they're considering, but they don't want those bigger buildings up there. They want smaller buildings, whether it be townhouses, smaller commercial buildings in those areas that are transitional to the residential. So they're trying to make them smaller.
right now they're individual homes.
But they don't have to change them, they can leave them as they are.
Yeah,
No
but
one's telling them to change it. If you have a half-acre site or a quarter-acre site, the zoning would let you do whatever you want to do.
well, it's
Whatever you
just,
could do based on the size.
Correct.
You're probably not putting a apartment building on a quarter acre or half acre site.
Well-
Or any townhouses. Maybe you can build 2 maybe. Who
I don't
knows?
know.
But it's all unknown. There's been one project proposed as a potential that isn't even submitted.
It was submitted, it had to get retracted because of the changes that are going on.
We could
No,
debate.
it was a concept. That's all it was a concept. It was not submitted as a plan.
But this law, you don't have to pass the law, you can leave it as it was done 2 years ago. But I think what the board is trying to do, correct me if I'm wrong, is consider a less impactful development in the transition areas. There's been some comments about other less impactful, which I think they'll look at.
Yeah.
Could be setback issues that the planning board mentioned, could be multifamily homes, we don't know. That they're still considering it.
Well,
The
obviously,
planner will
that's,
consider it, and you will consider it.
right. But if we want more and need more, then multifamily homes are also another option. Because
In that area, but not in the single-family home zoning area where I believe that you happen to live. Is that correct? Right.
I'm just saying in general.
I see what you're saying.
Do you want
I'm just saying in general.
homes in single-family zones, is that what you're saying?
Are you asking for multifamily homes and single-family zones? Because that's a whole different issue than what we're talking about right now.
I think that's a better solution than a 17 or 24 unit building in between single-family homes. Because, or you could put in,
That's not what I understood.
I'm
you were
just
asking.
trying to put a point where if we need more housing, you know, you gotta just remember where this is stacked up against. This house, this property is in between individual homes, right? That's what,
It's also backed up by multifamily homes.
And existing
multifamily,
Doesn't
yeah.
this new zoning
Multifamily.
allow multifamily homes?
in the transitional area.
In that area.
Right, so
Yes.
it doesn't have to, somebody can go in and build a two-family house.
If they
They
By,
could.
by
choose to.
code, they're allowed to. If they're choosing not to, they're choosing to, build something a little bit bigger. The fact is they can go in there and build a two-family house. It's zoned for that. If whoever buys it is choosing not to build just a two-family house, that's their choice. But if it's zoned for that there now. So what you're asking, it's already allowed there.
I'm not asking for anything. I'm asking for us to, like everyone has been talking about at many meetings, is we need to limit what is allowed to be built. Because what was proposed is outrageous. It's great that we're starting to finally see that vision is out of control, and it's getting shrunk to maybe whatever half is, and even half for that section and that area is still ridiculous. And that's the point of everyone here continuously coming to try to help you understand what we, the taxpayers, are feeling.
We understand.
Okay,
We're
that's all.
taxpayers too. And it will be up to the planning board to decide what will eventually go there.
I understand that the planning board has that power, but this board has authority, or whatever the right word
I think what we'll do is talk to the planner, we heard some comments, this is great comments. Smaller house, smaller development, the tools that have been proposed will create that, not just half on the FAR, but also less impact on the ground, which makes it a smaller building. We'll look at it. Is it, someone wants 4 units, someone wants 8. We think maybe 10 or 12, whatever the number is, you don't know on any development, or what property. It could be 4, maybe a property can handle 4. Maybe they say, oh, those are nice townhomes on that acre lot. That looks great. I'd love to live there or rent there. Who knows? Everyone has an opinion. I think they learn or are hearing what people say to amend the law. They'll listen to the planning board, whether they think you're not. They'll listen to the planner. We're going to help you and craft the law in a way to decrease, we think, those transitional areas, right? That's the concept
Yes,
that they're
that is
thinking
the
about.
concept, correct.
And we'll use the planning tools to do it.
Hi there. Good evening. I'm Denise Mira. I'm over at 28 Lakeside Drive. And I just got to ask, because I'm a little confused, multifamily homes and an apartment building that is all rentals, is there a difference between those? Should there be a difference between those? Because when you say multifamily homes, I'm thinking, some of them could be rented, but some of them could be owned. And then when you're talking about apartment buildings, that's like a commercial endeavor that is all gonna be rentals, the owner is not gonna live there. I mean, and I will tell you that renters do not treat property as well as when people own it. I mean, we're seeing that even in my development, a few people have chosen to buy the house and then rent it out, which causes a lot of problems, because these people really don't care about the property at all. They're just there, they totally ignore a lot of, like, how to recycle, how to park, leaving stuff on the lawns, walking their dogs on the lawn. So is there a difference, every time that you say multifamily, are you, like, combining that with, like, an apartment building that is a commercial apartment building? Or is there two different things that we're talking here?
I don't think I use multifamily very much, I think he did.
Hmm?
I think the speaker talked about multifamily. There's a lot of different definitions. I don't have the whole code in front of me, the zoning code, but there's different definitions for different uses.
I'm curious, do you have a homeowners association for Lakeside?
Yes, there is.
They have no control over ownership or rentals or?
Well, we have tried. I mean, looking back, we probably should have put something in the bylaws. But at this point, there's only so much we can do. But we are getting, like, to get a deposit, because these people are causing damage that then the HOA has to, you know, fix. We are trying to limit how many times you could turn over and rent, because there was one property that every 4 months they had somebody new. And that really wasn't flying too well, you know. And these are, please, for the record, I mean, where everybody, these are single-family homes. They are not condos. They are not townhouses. We do not share walls. Unfortunately, the builder who built our development, I don't know who he paid off, but he was able to jam all these buildings. Some of them, one house is in front of another house. So then we have water issues. When one neighbor does something, it affects the other neighbor, but we are single-family homes. And every time that I hear, oh, the townhouses or the condos, it just twists me a little bit, so just.
I don't believe we allow short-term rentals.
We do not
Oh, no,
allow
we're very,
short-
very upset that they're doing that.
It's not allowed in the town. Short-term rentals are not allowed in Mount Pleasant.
Oh.
We have code against that. We've actually been discussing
Well,
that.
listen, how short is short? Because this will be great. We could put a stop to this. How short is short?
Why don't you give the supervisor's office a call tomorrow, make an appointment?
I'll be in touch. Yeah, me and the president. We'll see you. Okay.
8 o'clock, call him.
I'm retired now. I sleep. Thank you very much, everybody.
8:45, that way I have some coffee in me.
That was a joke.
Just for the record, we do have code in the town of Mount Pleasant for what is known as accessory apartments. They are not that frequent in the town. But the concept of changing single-family home, and I know Mr. Russell has addressed this in years past, the concept of changing single-family home zoning has never been brought before this board, nor I believe the planning or the zoning board. I remember, Mr. Russell, quite clearly that your statements were about keeping the community as residences of single-family homes. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Okay. I just wanted to make that point because we have not discussed that, changing any of that zoning, and I don't want anyone to even think that going away. This is a transitional zone. It's unique, but it's something that we have looked at and discussed. And I'm going to reiterate what my supervisor and my fellow councilman said. There is currently no plan in front of anyone in regard to this. Yes, there is someone that owns the property, but we have yet to hear anything brought to us. So I don't want anyone to feel that we are not listening to you. We are listening. I am reading the social media posts. I understand what the concerns are. I think everybody up here does. Thank you.
If anyone wants to put anything in writing of any thoughts or plans they have, that's also helpful.
Hi, my name is Shane Cairns. I live in Valhalla. I did have a question in regards to sort of what spawned all of this. So you keep saying that there was no application, there is no currently an application,
That's correct.
but there was a zoning change that was proposed by someone that started this whole discussion and got everyone very riled up about this. So that zoning change was in response to something that was going to happen.
5 years ago,
Okay.
the board considered a new comprehensive plan. As part of that townwide comprehensive plan, the legislation was to propose Valhalla Hamlet zoning, Hawthorne Hamlet zoning, Thornwood Hamlet zoning, that would have greater density near the train stations to help the businesses in the downtowns, not affect residential zoning at all. That was passed 2 years ago after public hearings, public work sessions, hundreds and hundreds of people involved in the concept, people wanted that. There was a proposal then to change one piece of property, 75 North Kensico, to add to that, which is adjacent to the area, with one area not included. That was done. People were upset about it. There was comments made that it was too big of a proposal, that was not really proposed yet, could have too big of a building. So we went back to the drawing board and said, well, looking at Valhalla Hamlet, it is directly adjacent to residential areas. So the thought process was, how do we lower the size of buildings that would impact potentially residential zones? And that's what they're considering now. To have it, instead of having the Hamlet zone go all the way up to the residential zone, it would still be the Hamlet zone, but there'd be a transitional area for properties along the perimeter near the residential zones, which would decrease density, decrease size, decrease impacts. That's what they're looking at. Comments, make it only multifamily, up to 4 families. Comments of just make it multifamily zoning, that's it. So that's what they'll consider. So that's
Okay.
the history.
Okay, so this property that everyone keeps talking about just was not in the Valhalla Hamlet zoning originally.
It was directly adjacent to it.
It was directly adjacent to it.
Proposal, there was a year of review by the planning board, by this board, public hearings on it, et cetera.
Okay, so
To change that zoning.
to change that particular zoning. there.
Correct, that property to add it to the Hamlet zone.
Okay, and that was because there was no actual, it was just a concept of a plan.
Yeah.
Okay, heard that before. So, so all this is all about a concept of something that does not exist. But you guys are trying to protect that transitional area with this transitional zone. And then as the supervisor said, you also made a very good comment, which is there is a need for housing everywhere. And so that we should make sure that we're not limiting people's ability to live in the beautiful town that we live in. So, thank you.
Okay.
Very good, thank you.
Spoke very-
One last comment is, how is 65 Kensico or North Kensico, which is before 75, which is closer to the town and to the train station, still excluded on the map in this whole project? Because that then makes everyone feel that this property is getting special treatment, or at least that's how I see it.
I'm not sure they're happy that the density is decreased by half.
I think it had to do with the size of the property also.
Do you want to add more properties to the Hamlet zone?
I'm just saying, it's kind of
We
weird.
get it. That's been said 50 times.
Yeah.
They haven't asked for it.
No, so, Mr. Russell, I'm gonna ask you, 65 North Kensico, is that the red house? Right next to the property, right next to 75 North Kensico? The gentleman, I think, came in here a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's a blue house.
Mr. Meyer, yes, you are correct.
He's never made a request to be included in this zoning either.
And he actually came to the meeting and Darius asked him if he wanted to be included.
But it's a smaller,
Right,
it's very limited what could be down there aside from what he has there.
right.
Which is a single-family home,
I think it's multifamily, I think.
is it?
I think so.
It's just, again, a weird shape that
And it goes over across Broadway, kind of weirdly shaped too, but.
It just to summarize everything that we've been saying, so that drawing or whatever proposition about this 34 unit apartment building, 47 cars, so this is not in your consideration. So this is not the project, I mean, this is not a proposal
No.
of the construction.
Correct.
Okay.
Nor do we have control over that.
Yeah, before any building permit, who knows what they're gonna propose there, maybe nothing. We don't know, but, hold on, let me finish, so you understand. But there's not, okay, give me a building permit, I'm building. There's a whole planning board process where they gotta get site plan approval. So when you look at the zoning, how big can you make it, how can you be legal, what do they wanna propose? We don't know. That'll be looked at by the building department. If it's legal, if it's illegal, you go get variances. If it's legal, they go to get site plan approval at the planning board. The planning board analyzes parking, traffic, drainage, stormwater runoff, all that gets analyzed. Impacts on views, impacts on height, all that gets looked at very carefully for months and months and months and months,
Okay.
for any project.
All right, so in case you get some, proposal or application or something, how the public will know about the proposals and
We will,
applications?
if the zoning gets changed, if there's an application for any project in the Hamlet zoning, in any of them, I'm sure there'll be a lot of publications about it, a lot of email blasts. Are you on the email list? You can get it from Amanda?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we'll put it on, we'll put it
There'll
in.
be signs too for public.
Signs are required too, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yep, that's what you guys requested, so we made it mandatory for the signs.
Thank you.
Well, the signs were there, and some of them were taken down, they were expensive, but
Plus, we changed the, we.
vandalism of signs.
We changed the law that more people are
Right.
notified.
Right, right. And required of, notice,
Correct.
to the, yeah, through certified mail, correct.
Okay.
I think the board seems to be comfortable with continuing this public hearing. Again, we're open for comments. If you want to email us any comments between now and the next public hearing on this, we welcome those, and they will be added to the proposal.
I'd like to make a motion to continue the public hearing and to hear from the public a little more. Thank you.
Motion by Tom,
Second.
second by Danielle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
David, thanks for being here.
See you, Dave.
On the authorization to adopt the local law amending building lot coverage with the Hamlet, we're gonna continue that also.
Correct.
So
You'll jump into-
resolution 32425 will be to continue to the public hearing.
32425.
Yes.
Move for approval, please.
To continue it to the public hearing.
To continue
Right.
it to the.
No decision on the substance, just to
Correct.
adjourn, yeah.
Just to continue it to the public hearing.
I don't think you need a resolution,
No?
but if you want,
Can we just keep that resolution number open for,
that's more of,
That could get,
confusing.
I don't want to screw up the number in here.
What would you like to do, Mr. Supervisor?
Motion by Lori,
to table it?
Yeah,
yeah, it's continuing.
Okay.
I'll second tabling.
Second by Danielle, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next item is we need to call for a public hearing to amend Town Code Chapter 14 and Chapter A 224A, I'm sorry, A 224, amending building, planning, and zoning, as well as highway department fees. We have what would be a date for that? September 23rd.
I'm moving it to Thursday.
That's right, it would be September 25th, because of the holiday.
Oh,
Yes.
do the same for the other one, too.
September 25th.
It's a terrible day.
Okay, good night.
Okay,
You wanna hear about?
motion we're on resolution 325,
Curb cut permits?
25,
Curb cut permits?
scheduling a public hearing to September 25th for town code, building, planning, and zoning highway fees.
Move for approval.
Motion by Mark,
Second.
second by Lori. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, call for a public hearing to amend Town Ordinance 206-42, Schedule 8, trucks over a certain weight excluded to include Beach Hill Road. We've had situations where very large trucks are going on Beach Hill Road to bypass Route 9A. So we'll set this up for September 25th also.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Danielle,
Second.
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, purchase order 135-2507 is renewal contract for the assessment system software.
This is the same one we've had for years, Carl, I think.
Yeah, I'm just, see if there are any numbers on that.
Yeah.
You have it, Carl?
Do you have it here, Nan? Here,
Yes.
Andy?
This is purchase order 13525-07. The vendor is Catalyst.
Yeah.
The total cost is $19,158.28.
Move for approval?
Motion by Mark,
Second.
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is authorization to accept the stormwater maintenance and access agreement between the town of Mount Pleasant and Shelbourne Healthcare Development Corp. That's the new building that was built behind Rose Hill Shopping Center. This is an agreement which requires them to maintain their stormwater.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Lori,
Second.
second by Danielle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, authorization to renew the school resource officer agreements with Mount Pleasant Central School District, Mechanical Hills School District, and Valhalla Union Free School District for the 25-26 school year.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Danielle,
Second.
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is authorization to grant an extension up to 5 business days for payment of taxes by senior citizens who receive an enhanced star exemption under real property tax law S 925B.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Lori,
Second.
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is authorization to approve street closing permits. This is Warren Avenue to Linda, there's Warren Avenue is one, Linda Avenue and Frankfurt Street, 320 Linda Avenue, and Jefferson Avenue from Sherwood Street, excuse me, to Prospect Avenue. Let's see what,
There are 3 separate requests, is that correct?
3 separate ones,
Yes.
and the hours,
For September 13th, it's from 10 a.m. to midnight. For September 20th, it's from 4 o'clock till 10 p.m. And the last one, September 27th, is from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. I move for approval, please.
motion by Lori,
Second?
second by Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Are we invited?
Maybe in the fine print, let's double check.
Doesn't say that here.
You can stop by, Mark.
Authorization to approve temporary license agreement and hold harmless agreement for New York State DOT to use Cleveland Street lot for staging area. This is work that's long-awaited work on the wall along Taconic State Parkway next to the Valhalla Station Restaurant, which has been falling down for a number of years, and finally, the state is addressing it.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Tom,
Second?
second by Danielle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's see, investment report, interest rate is down to 3.75%. Got the receiver of taxes report. And that leads us to business from the floor. Anybody wish to address the business? Tim?
Finally.
You stayed awake.
Tom Milliot, how are you? No, you don't.
Tom, I realize I never responded to you. I apologize. It was a long summer.
So it's a little surreal. But I wanted to show up in person, because as you guys know, Sunday is the 11th, Mount Pleasant Day, and the Chamber of Commerce.
Go to the mic so
Oh, sorry, yep.
everybody in TV land can hear you.
Okay, good. So the Mount Pleasant Day is coming up on Sunday, and the Chamber, and I'm sure all the residents appreciate all your support, which we know is fairly significant, and there's a lot of effort, and you know how much Amy works on this, and I'm in charge of logistics for the booth spaces this year, so it's a little bit of a challenge with the new sidewalks and all. So and I'm right in Hawthorne at McCarthy Insurance, so I have heard a lot of chatter about the new streetscape, that people have been concerned about the narrowing of the road and the trucks that double park to deliver stuff. So there's been a lot of chatter about everything. And then, of course, the number one subject that came up was that we all thought that the possibility of a circle instead of the triangle was a real possibility. And I'm hoping that that has been reconsidered, because there are, I think every business owner in and around the circle is vehemently opposed to the changing of that triangle to a circle. Okay?
Just to bring you up to date, we've had extensive conversation with the town engineer. I believe the circle is probably out of the picture, and redesigning the triangle area to make it safer for entering and exit the lanes there, because it's always been difficult.
Yes.
Coming over the bridge and trying to make a left turn or a right turn, you can't see.
Absolutely, positively.
So the way
Yes.
that town engineer David has redesigned it, it gives a little more room for you to go out further and to see in both directions.
That's right, there's got to be better visibility, for sure.
It may be eliminating some spaces to the south and to the north to get more visibility, but that's all part of the new design, which will be on display on Mount Pleasant Day, so.
Good, I'll give you a good booth space.
I had a question for you with respect to design of the streetscape. Did that affect the number of booths that are available and the placement of booths?
Actually, we've stretched it further north. So the 12-hole miniature golf course will be on the newly paved parking lot.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So golf balls will be flying around.
Nice.
So we're bringing more spaces down that way, and we're moving all the food to the Hawthorne train station area to create more of a food court.
That's smart.
And that will have the DJ there and the band at the triangle. So there'll be music in 2 spots. And we're hoping the parents go to the south end to do the free rides on inflatables and what have you. And then they'll walk towards the other end, where we're going to have some carnival games on the street, next to the food court, next to the mini golf. So I think we have 66 exhibitors, so it's going to be in a good weather, hopefully. So, but so part of me recruiting people for Mount Pleasant Day, I got so much input on what's going on with the traffic and all. And the traffic is just still going way too fast. And when we talked about potentially the need for a petition to really get rid of the circle, they just said, listen, we've got to slow the traffic down legally, not just because it's narrower, because people are still driving 40 miles an hour, and wait till people start trying to use crosswalks and make sure that think that the traffic's going to stop. You know, got to be careful there. So
It's always a challenge, slowing cars down. I think it's going to be requiring additional patrolling
Yes.
and ticketing.
And do you have the legal authority to change it to 20 instead of 30?
That's considered, 141 there, that section's considered state, but I think we may have authority to adjust that. Personally, I don't think lowering the speed limit slows people down because most people ignore it. I think the only thing
Yeah,
is,
but when you get caught going 40 and a 20, you'll lose your license.
well,
It's 20 over.
I think if you get enough tickets too, it helps. There's a lot of transient driving through there, it's not just.
Oh, it's a
local
commercial
people.
road during the day.
Right.
I mean, there's trucks of all sizes. I mean, you should see when a school bus passes a tractor trailer, if someone opens the car door, there's no space there, you know?
After you lose a couple of doors, you start to change that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So-
appreciate you coming because I spoke with a few of the business owners down there, and they were telling me, and it was the first I was hearing of their displeasure. I said, you guys someone's got to email or say something. I said, I have no idea, and we've been scrutinizing the circle for a while now, and I'm so glad you came out to speak, because I kept saying that, like, if nobody says anything, how are we supposed to know, that it wasn't in favor?
Well, have you ever been to Aruba? Do you know
A long
Aruba
time ago.
eliminated every traffic light they have and they put in circles? But when you go into the circle, it's like a 2-acre
Yeah.
circle.
Circles are great. I mean, in Florida, I love them.
Boston, not so much because they're a lot tighter.
But we had said, right, it's on an incline. There was a lot to it.
And there's never a shop, when you go to most circles, there's no shops adjoining the roadway.
Yeah.
Because you really can't get in and out of them safely. So we really appreciate that. And those extra parking spots along the side there, you probably have to, would be a good
There's
idea.
more spots that will be added. I think it's going to be better than it is now, so.
Yeah. And then it's up to property owners to do, an improvement. I mean,
Yeah.
We try, McCarthy's done our part, but.
You have a beautiful building there. Yeah.
Well, it's 100 years old,
Yeah,
but it looks good.
We truly appreciate your, Amy and the Chamber's efforts. This is a great community day, and we
the
appreciate all
best.
the efforts that the businesses and the Chamber itself put into this, because it's a memorable day, and
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
We appreciate your partnership. It's terrific.
And I
But-
look forward to all the changes. I think this is so positive. Good work. I'll be there all day.
Okay, me too. All right, guys, I know it's late. We'll let you guys
Thanks.
go.
Okay.
And we'll see you all on Sunday,
Wait,
hopefully.
before you go,
Yep.
can I prod you for input? Because we've been talking about this, and we briefly spoke about
Oh,
Stonegate
yes,
Park.
Yes.
Mr.
Stone-
Milliot lives directly across from the property that we've had some conversations about, and I don't remember exactly what your feeling was on it, but you were,
No, the neighborhood would be okay with it becoming a residential property.
right.
We've had problems with 4x4s going across properties. That seems to have subsided. I think they kind of found
Yeah,
a few people
we
that
had
were
put some rocks, right,
doing
the
it.
Parks Department to stop that.
And you did put up a no entry sign. You're aware of that, right? That you're not really supposed to walk through there anymore?
Yeah.
Which, it's always questionable for residents by us whether it's legal to walk on the power lines. And my take is it's
Yeah, the
not.
DEP property, I think
Yeah.
it's banned, like it's
Yeah.
prohibited.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the baseball field is right through there, and it's still an active, I don't know how the neighborhood up there feels about their
It's a challenge.
baseball. Their
Right.
parking is difficult, and they
But
have-
you're in favor, and you believe your neighbors would be in favor of closing that section of a
Yeah,
park?
because the pavilion itself is a
Correct.
insurance hazard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The expert.
It's not a simple process because it's parkland,
Right.
and we'll be doing a survey there and separating out that piece on Eastfield.
Right, from the other park.
Correct.
And then, leaving the ballpark and some surrounding woods there would be one part, and then the building lot would be separate.
Right.
So that's what we're working on.
Good.
And the state has to approve it.
Right.
I didn't mean to keep you, but I just figured while you were here, and I
No,
thought
no,
of it.
no, I wanted you to know that in talking to my neighbors, it's like, no one really
Yeah,
uses it for anything.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Nothing good.
yeah, you don't see as many kids going up there as back in the day, right? All right, guys, anything else?
That's it.
No,
That's it.
thanks, yeah, we'll see you on Mount Pleasant.
Good
Day.
job, thanks for,
See you Sunday, thank you.
All right.
thanks
Thanks.
for doing what you do, thank you.
Okay, moving on to Emily and our town clerk's report.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. Town Clerk's Report, Town Board Meeting, September 9th, 2025. Continuation of the public hearing to consider a proposed local law providing prohibiting battery energy storage systems within the town. Continuation of public hearing to consider a proposed local law amending Town Code Chapter 211-8, rates for water consumption. And continuation of public hearing to consider a proposed local law amending Chapter 218 of the Town Code, building lot coverage requirements. Received and filed 5 planning board resolutions for River Valley Wine Cellars Emergency Generator Site Plan Approval, 70 Leroy Road Steep Slope Permit, and then the New York City DP Kensico Eastview Connection Contract Number 4, Reservoir Shoreline Stabilization, the Site Plan Approval, Steep Slope Permit, and Wetland Permit. Received and filed 7 zoning board resolutions for Leonard Valander, 633 Commerce Street, Ben Rossman, 960 to 1060 Broadway, Paul Rubio, 434 Sherman Avenue, Robert Cabrera, 52 Stanley Street, Ron and Arsenia Lynch, 10 Elsa Avenue, Kevin Pulsini, 45 Eton Road, and Sal Papage, 174 Elwood Avenue. Also received and filed 2 notices of claim for Raquel Soto and Kevin and Patricia Hogan.
Item 3 would be referred to our town attorney. Moving on to council reports. Councilman Saliano.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My report's from the Controller's Office. The following claims are submitted for town board approval. From GF accounts receivable, $7,242. Due to other governments, Mount Pleasant Central School District, $4,154.36. Due to the county, Westchester County Finance Department, $589.24. Receiver of taxes, $2,620. From the category of computer, $582.43. From town clerk, $2,122.39. From attorney, $17,202.12. From municipal association dues, $875. From superintendent of highways, $78. From off-street parking, $1,250. Central garage, $390. Public safety, $3,452.51. From the category recreation administration, $2,112. From parks, $3,462. From adult programs, $4,325. From the pool, $10,527.96. From the category of youth programs, $7,400.40. Youth day camps, $28,267. From the category of general repairs, $2,265. Highway machinery, $3,550.61. From communications, $37,391.34. From the category of capital Old Farm Hill Water District, $38,257.50. Kensico Capital Projects. These are bonded projects, $357,535.24. Special Drainage District, $15,821.80. Mount Pleasant Consolidated Sewer District, $5,642.80. Joint Water District Fund, $9,430.54. Mechanical Water District Number 1, $42,078.34. Kensico Water, $20,860.03. Trust and agency, $13,894. The grand total from the controller and all supporting documentation is in the office for your review, is $643,379.61. I respectfully ask the board for a motion of approval, please.
Motion by Tom,
Second?
second by Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you so much. We have another item, Mr. Supervisor, from the Controller's Office. This is budgetary transfers, it's authorization. There's a few transfers here. All the documentation is in the Controller's Office and also on the website. I move approval for these accounting budgetary transfers, please.
Motion by Tom,
Second?
second by Danielle. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The last item from the Controller's Office is authorization for final lump sum payment for a police department member who retired, Jason Patain. And per union contract, there's vacation, holiday, unused sick time, comp time, per the contract. The grand total is $59,687.38. I move for approval, and we thank Officer Pertain for his extraordinary service to our town. We appreciate it.
Motion by Tom,
Second.
Second, bless you.
Bless you.
second by Lori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I thank you. Have a very good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Zano.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, fellow board members, residents of Mount Pleasant. My report comes from our Parks and Recreation Department. My first item is purchase order 70-25-49. The vendor's A.G. Williams. This is for a repair at the Valhalla, gazebo. They will be replacing one complete column and repair the other 5 due to rot and decay. Total cost is $3,900. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Danielle,
Second?
second by Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. My next item is, are you guys awake down there?
Yes, we
Oh,
are.
Yes, we
all right.
are, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
Do you have coffee?
My next item is Resolution 336-25. This is authorization to obtain proposals for the operation of vending machines at Town of Mount Pleasant facilities. Again, this is from our Recreation and Parks Department. The Recreation and Parks Department seeks authorization to obtain proposals for the installation and operation of vending machines at Town Hall. There'll be one here at Town Hall and one at the Community Center. Proposals will be accepted at the Recreation Department beginning on Wednesday, September 10th, 2025 at 9 a.m. and ending on Friday, October 3rd at 11 o'clock a.m. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Danielle,
Second.
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And just one quick announcement, fall registration has opened as of yesterday, online, in person, and brochures are also available here at Town Hall. Thank you. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. Councilman Saraceno.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everybody. From the Highway Department tonight, we have a resolution number 337-25. This is out of the Highway Department. Once again, this is for a replacement door for a excavator, and the price came in from a sole provider for John Deere equipment at $3,010.90. Move for approval.
Motion by Mark,
Second.
You can have it, Danielle.
second by Danielle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next item, Resolution 338-25. This is authorization to deposit a bond for a curb cut permit, permit number 1516. This was deposited in the amount of $2,700 for work being performed on Lotsa Drive in Valhalla for Toll Brothers. Move for approval.
Motion by Mark,
Second.
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 339-25, another authorization to deposit a bond for a curb cut permit, permit number 1517, in the amount of $360 for 186 Evelyn Avenue, Thornwood, property owner named Frank Gregory. Move for approval.
Motion by Mark,
Second?
second by Danielle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 340-25, authorization to deposit a bond for a curb cut permit, permit number 1518, for work being performed at 63 Ridgewood Drive, Pleasantville, under George O'Reilly Contracting, in the amount of $540. Move for approval.
Motion by Mark,
Second.
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And my last resolution is 341-25, authorization to deposit bond for street opening permit number 6452. This is for work being performed at 2 Nanahagan Road in Thornwood, under the name Anthony D'Agostino, for the amount of $1,000. This is for a sewer connection, and I'll move for approval.
Motion by Mark,
Second?
second by Lori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, and just one quick announcement, the work on, that you've probably seen on Nanahagan Road from Westlake Drive down to down to Columbus and Kensico, that section has finally been completed. There's more work to be done up from Westlake Drive, further towards the Palmer Road area. There was a number of pipe failures that were being replaced, obviously, for improved drainage, but while the crews were doing their work, they found more failures, which were leading to sinkholes, so it became one of those snowball type projects. Good news is it's being rectified. Bad news is it's costing money that we didn't plan on, but it'll be great that the pipes are being replaced, and I know the crews are working as fast as they can. And with that, good luck to everybody back to school. School buses are out again on the highways, so please be safe and observe the stop signs. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Councilwoman Smalley.
Good evening. In addition to the new officer being sworn in today, I have 5 items from the police department. The first is purchase order 30-25-21. The vendor is Jasper Engines and Transmissions. It is PD 70 engine replacement with installation kit. The total cost is $3,336. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Lori,
Second.
second by Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item, purchase order 30-25-22, Central Square Technologies. This is for a computer server upgrade to facilitate data archiving. The total cost is $8,970. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Lori,
Second.
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The next item is from Paul Oliva, Police Chief. The town of Mount Pleasant has been a part of the intermunicipal agreement known as the Mutual Aid and Rapid Response Plan for decades. The plan allows any municipality in Westchester County to be able to call for additional police resources in the event of an incident or disaster that requires additional police resources beyond the capability of the requesting agency. The agreement is renewed every 5 years with the County of Westchester. The agreement was reviewed by the Chief of Police and Town Attorney. The Chief of Police has requested authorization from the Town Board for the Town Supervisor to renew this agreement. I move for approval, please.
Motion by Lori,
Second.
second by Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Very good, thank you. The next item from our Police Chief, Paul Oliva, is authorization to renew electronic ticket software contract. The New York State Police administer the software that enables electronic ticketing and accident reporting that is used by the Mount Pleasant Police Department. The Westchester County Department of Public Safety acts as a lead agency in this endeavor. An agreement is in place that regulates the usage and rules regarding this software. The software is supplied at no cost to the local municipality. The agreement is up for renewal. It has been vetted by the Chief of Police and by the Town Attorney. The Chief of Police would respectfully request authorization from the Town Board to enter into this renewal agreement for traffic and criminal software, or TRACS, as is more commonly known. Again, this software is at no cost to our municipality. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Lori,
Second?
second by Danielle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And the last item this evening is from Corey Antonecchia in Traffic and Safety. Authorization is requested to hire Luca Sika of Hawthorne as a seasonal maintenance laborer in the Traffic Safety Department. The rate of pay for this position is $20 per hour. If approved, this will be effective as of September 11th, 2025, and will terminate after 4 months of employment. Thank you for your consideration in this matter. I move for approval, please.
Motion by Lori,
Second.
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Very good, thank you. One announcement, PVA Day here at Mount Pleasant Town Hall will be on September 20th. Please come out, bring your family. The children will get to meet the police officers and see all sorts of equipment that we use. The adults will get a great appreciation of how our police officers interact with not only the residents that live here, but people that come from out of the area, and certainly explain a little bit more about their role as SROs or school resource officers. Thank you.
Thank you. Town Attorney, we have anything, or?
No more, that's it.
Good. Our scheduled meetings, work session Tuesday, September 16th, 7 PM. Next item is authorization to reschedule business session from Tuesday, September 23rd to Thursday, September 25th.
So moved.
Motion by Tom,
Second.
second by Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Just a reminder, this week, we're having a 9/11 memorial celebration, memorial service, I should say, 6 PM at Town Hall this Thursday. All are welcome. If there be no further business from the board, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, please.
Motion by Tom,
Second.
second by Mark. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Good night.